been a little while since we've done this. Let's redesign the F1 2025 grid. Hello, I'm Redesign, a visually impaired gamer, streamer and livery designer, and today, in the middle of the F1 summer break, I thought it might be best to jump back into this series because it's been a few weeks since we've done it, and get back into redesigning the F1 2025 grid. So far in the series we've done from P10 in the 2024 Constructors' Championships through to P5, and so this week we are doing Mercedes and Red Bull in 4th and 3rd. Now the idea of the series is to take the current 2025 liveries, take all the little design elements and do them in my own style on the F3500A in Gran Turismo 7, making them in my own style and how I think the designs would flow a little bit better. So let's get straight into it with Mercedes. So here we have it, my take on the 2025 Mercedes AMG F1 Petronas Formula 1 Team Car. So we're going to start off at the front. Now the current car I feel is a very dark and a little bit dingy car, while the silver is very pretty. The black kind of just sits there on the car and there's no elements other than the odd swoosh of the Petronas teal. There's nothing else really in the design, so I've kind of added that Petronas colour into a few of the areas on the car. As you can see on the front wing, which in the real car is just a carbon fibre wing, we've just added the little Petronas colour in there just to accent the edges and bring a little bit of colour into the design. I feel with the nose of the current car it's quite blocky, with the black lines being really quite thick, so we've thinned that out slightly with the Petronas swoosh coming down into the cockpit. I have got rid of the silver that is on the side of the current car, and we've just got that block black on the side there, and we'll come more into that later, because I feel, as I say, the current car is just a little bit dark. Now the side pods and the engine cover are where the main changes come into this design. Rather than having the car split on the side with the black down the side of the side pod and then a little bit of silver split again by some black and then more silver on the top, we've gone for silver throughout with a fade of the black. So we've got a fade from the start of the side intake and then a fade from the midpoint back into the back of the gearbox. Got this swish here which on the current car stops at the side of the car, whereas here we've got it flowing down past the side of the cockpit, which just adds that element of speed and like the paintwork peeling off the car, which then draws back to the original Mercedes where they scratched off the paintwork to make the car a little bit lighter and a whole lot faster. On the engine cover we have removed the large black section that is on the side of the engine cover, which I just feel is a little bit out of place. It's really blocky and I don't think it adds anything to the design. Yes, it makes the logos white, which is the main reason why it's there, so the logos stand out, but it just feels really dark and clunky in the design. So we've just kept it all nice and silver, and we do have the Niki Lauda red star there as tribute, of course, to the man who had a lot to play in the current era of Mercedes, giving a lot of tips and advice to the team and a lot of support in his final years. The front of the rear wing we've kept fairly standard to what is on the current car, just that Petronas swoosh coming through and then links that again to the front wing as well. But on the back of the wing we've gone with what is more similar to what was on like the 2010 car, with that bright Petronas teal behind the Petronas logo just popping on that rear wing and making it stand out a little more for the people behind the car. So let me know what you think of this Mercedes down in the comments. Now let's get into Red Bull racing. So the 2025 Red Bull redesigned in my style. This is what we got. Now this is a car that pained me most to design so far, because Red Bull. And it's a car that I've tried to mix a little bit of modern with a little bit of the classic designs yet again. Just some nods back to the classic work that they had from the last 20 odd years. We've stuck with the matte design that they've gone with for the last nearly 10 years now in Red Bull. We've got the massive Red Bull on either side of the front wing there. Very identifiable, very Red Bull. But this is then where the changes come as we move further down the car onto that nose cone and into the cockpit, where we've got a little bit of white along the bottom of the car, which just makes the car a little bit lighter, because I feel that dark blue is just a little dull. It kind of blends into the circuit a little bit, other than like the bright yellow on the nose cone and the engine intake. Other than that, it is a very dark design, so we're trying to brighten that up. It does also a little bit of a callback to the blue and silver contrasts that they had on the early years of Red Bull with like the can design that they used to run. We've also got a little bit of a callback to like the 2023 merch that they had with those dashes and lines coming up the car. We've also got that on the front wing as well. And that just adds a little bit of aggression into the design, a little bit of speed, and like some fast lines. Could be also seen as a little bit of, that's the airflow coming over the car. So as it's peeling back from the nose cone down toward the cockpit, that's the air rushing past the car. Side pod and side of the car, very similar actually to the current car, with just Red Bull and Oracle, their title sponsor, on the side, and the massive Red Bull going over the engine cover, because that is just their design that they've always ran, and it's so very identifiable with the brand. Of course, Red Bull, the main reason to have the F1 team, used to sell cans of their drink, and so having that very noticeable on the car is such a key feature. We've put those lines in at the back of the design. We've put those lines in at the back of the car again as well, just to link the front and the rear of the car together in one design. Also to add a little bit more colour in, so it's not just that dark, dull blue from front to back. Kept that on the rear wing as well, with the logos, and then just with the black on the carbon fibre, with those lines coming across into the design as well. And then of course had to put gives you wings on the back of the rear wing, as they have done on, again, the older cars. I haven't seen it so much on the current generation of design, but that catchphrase from Red Bull, just putting that back on the design there. So do let me know what you think of the designs down in the comments. How would you have designed them differently? And I hope this kind of scratches that little bit of an itch while F1 is on their summer break. So thank you so much for watching. Look out for the next video in this little mini-series where we'll cover Ferrari and McLaren. We've got some more videos coming out soon as well, with other racing games and some IRL content as well. So drop a follow and a subscribe if you're new around here. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day and keep plodding on.